Hi, Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic, 30 years of experience. The next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story in this 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan so you can make yourself an informed decision. Coming in on the front right tire, you got about 40% tread on all season radios. Down, but definitely not out. Coming behind the front right tire, this is the outer CV boot, and it's full of grease. Now, if it was ripped, you'd see grease all over the place. That's important because this is what lubricates the drive axle for the front, so that's good. This is the lower ball joint. Now, this is critical because it holds the wheel to the steering, and it is tight, and that's critical. This is your front brakes here. You've got about 25, about 30,000 K. Quite a bit of brakes left, well 25,000 K on your front brakes. Now this is your right front sway bar lane connected from there up to there, and that is connected, doing its job. It helps with the suspension on the vehicle. So so far I'm not seeing any issues on the front right. Okay, now this is the front right strut. Now these struts are full of oil, and if it was leaking, you'd see oil dripping all the way down there. So that's important because that's just part of the suspension. Your front right and your spring suspension intact, no cracks, no breaks. Now this is the most important thing in the entire car because it's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering. This is your outer tie rod, and it is tight, so critical. Now this is your inner CV boot. Now you see for yourself, full of grease, and if it was leaking, you see grease all over the place. So no leaks, no suspension issues that I can see on the front right side. Okay, coming into the rear right tire. Now this tire is definitely down. You got about 20% tread on all season radio, so down more than the front. Now your rear brakes, you got about 25,000 K on the rear brakes, about the same as the front there. And coming behind the front, the rear right tire here, first thing I want to point out is that this is your shock. Okay, now this shock is full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down there. Now that's important for the suspension, so that is good and dry on the rear right side. Okay, now this is your rear right suspension again. No brakes, no cracks, no brakes, and yeah, and now I'm not seeing any leaks, any brake issues, or any suspension issues, other than you got your right rear tire is definitely down. Now just a quick perusal under the bottom of the motor. That's your oil pan there. See for yourself, good and dry. Not this bottom of your transmission here, good and dry. So I'm not seeing any oil leaks on this so far, which is good because nobody wants oil on their driveway. Now coming across to the front left tire, definitely down. This is about 20% tread left on your all season radios. So and I would also say you're going to need an alignment as well. Could you see the way that's worn on the it's worn on the inside more? I would say check your alignment as well, because that's definitely a sign of alignment needed. Now coming behind the front left tire, your left outer CV boot, again full of grease, and it's good and dry. That's important. The left lower ball joint is tight. 25,000 K on your brakes. Your sway bar connector connected from there down to here, intact, doing its job. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any leaks. I'm not seeing any brake issues. Definitely tire down on the front left side. Now your front left spring suspension here, okay, again, important because it's full of oil, and if it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here. That's good and dry. So, and your spring suspension intact on the front left, so no issues with that. Now this is your left outer tie rod, again, most important thing in the whole car because it holds the wheel to the steering. It is tight. Your left lower ball joint is tight. Your left inner CV boot, it's a little harder to see there. See that boot right there? That boot is full of grease, and if it was leaking, you see grease all over the place. Good and dry. Now, so I'm not seeing anything leak-wise, brake-wise, suspension-wise. So far, looking like you pretty much need a set of tires. So, okay, coming to the rear left tire again. Down about 20% tread on all season radios, so definitely down. Coming behind the rear left tire, this is your rear shock. Again, full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here. Good and dry. So suspension wise, brake wise, and brakes about same as the front, about 25,000 K. So lots of good brakes all the way around so far. Now your rear left suspension intact, no cracks, no breaks. Rear brakes about 25,000 K. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything of any concern so far, other than 4 tires are pretty much going to have to be changed sooner than later. Okay, 159, definitely need an oil change, telling you that. But 159K, so it's a very low K. Now you do have a crack in your windshield, so you want to address that. I'm not seeing any check engine lights. You're blowing nice and warm, and AC working. So what I'm going to do is take you out and show you the condition of the motor right now. Okay, with the motor running. Okay, with a shot of the exhaust, very clean. Okay, I'm not hearing anything of any concern on this motor, but I'll show you one thing you always want to look for on any car. Take the oil cap off. The first thing you do on any vehicle, take the oil cap off there, take a look underneath, and look for white goo. Okay, because white goo would be an indication of a mixture of oil and antifreeze, which mean an internal leak in the motor, which is a big problem. And see for yourself that's good and clean. I'm not surprised because it is low kilometers. So I am giving this vehicle, other than a set of 4 tires, a clean bill of health. I don't see anything of any concern, and a windshield part, by the way. And no, one more thing, and also check the alignment as well, because I think the alignment is a little bit out. So other than that, I'm giving this thing a clean bill of health, and hopefully this will help you make an informed decision. Now, if this is not the vehicle you're looking for, by all means, just let me know, because I will do this video inspection on any vehicle you're interested in. I work for numerous dealers. In addition to that, if you buy the vehicle, I'm also going to put on a free 10% fuel saving device that I have used for 20 years, never fails, and it never stops working, and it's free. Doesn't cost you a penny. Just come to me. And I'll put on a catalytic theft protection system as well, so nobody's going to steal your cat, because it's epidemic. Hopefully this helps you make an informed decision. Look forward to being of service to you. Bye-bye.